know where the troops at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you landed here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
Chief Concerns is presented by BetOnline and Olipop. Marcus Dash here from Chief Concerns, and ladies and gentlemen, it is that time of the year. It's football season, and you know what that means? It means it's time to get in on BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for everything football. BetOnline has every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads to bet on during the games. Think you know your stuff? Get in on our $200,000 mega contest and pick 5 games against the spread every week for your chance at weekly prizes and a share of $200,000. When the game's over, head on over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our 150 slot games. Head to the website today and get in on the action. Bet online, the game starts here. Come on, baby, go. Yes! That's a first down. This football season, I'll be putting down normal sodas like Coca-Cola for Olipop. Olipop offers a healthier alternative with its low sugar content and natural ingredients. Olipop is more than just a drink. It's a wellness companion that supports your digestive health. Packed with prebiotics, this fizzy elixir helps promote good bacteria in your gut, leading to improved digestion and overall well-being. So go ahead, click the link in the description and use promo code SODALOVE and get your can of Olipop so you can enjoy the game guilt-free. Go Chiefs. Use the promo code SODALOVE for 15% off now. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns. I'm Marcus Dash here with legendary Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, and tonight's an action-packed show because we're going to mix in a little bit of our grade show, our Monday show, which we didn't get to have us because of the Monday Night Football. But we got this going on, and you got the Royals game going on. So if you guys aren't watching this, and you got the Royals game like right next to it on mute while you watch this, you aren't doing it right, guys. You aren't doing your Wednesday night Chief Concerns show right. But JD, how you doing, brother?
Doing well, man. I'm doing well, brother. I'm just like you said I had to pull out my KC hat, my Royals hat from the closet and put this thing on, support the Royals out there, my guys, of course, to see how they're going to do, man. And I'm excited for them and where they're going to go take this whole series for baseball. But then, of course, we're talking about the Chiefs, being a bye week. This is something that the guys that needed a rest at the, to me, most opportune time for these guys to kind of get themselves kind of regrouped, thinking about what they need to do, how they want to move forward these next few weeks, trying to get some guys healthy, see how that's going to look as well. But we're going to get into some of the grades, man, how the game looked, talk about some of the things we had talked about, like the penalties and, red zone woes. The guys coming back, JuJu and Kareem coming back to the game, to the Chiefs, man, and doing what they do, and then we're doing it incredibly. And so it looks special. So we're going to get into it, man. First, I had to say hi to everybody. I just had a while to say hi to everybody. Richie Hall, Andre Chenault, Lacey Snake, Charles Driver, Maria, Jeremiah De Muertos, Gary Holland. Good to see you all. So if you're here and you're checking out the Chiefs, the Royals for tonight, y'all have a good time. John Clifford, good seeing you too, man. Good seeing you as well. So, yeah, man. Shoot, let's get into it.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show tonight. We got a little bit of our Monday morning tight end show. We got this. Like I said, if you guys aren't watching this, and you don't have the Royals game on right next to this, I mean, you guys aren't doing your Wednesday night properly. You got to have both on. I also do want to give a shout out to all of our followers and viewers who may be in the Tampa Bay, Florida region. I know Stu, our buddy Stu, he lives down there. But anybody else who lives down that way, we're sending our love and prayers out to you all.
Love and prayers to him, man. That's for sure. You know, I know it went from Category 5. I know they were talking about maybe Category 3 hitting the shore, but it's still going to be, you know, the swells and stuff is going to be pretty high, maybe for some flooding and whatnot. So we're praying for everybody down in the Tampa Bay, St. Pete, Florida area, that everybody comes out okay, unscathed, safe, where you need to be at. And so, yes, like you said, my brother, we are definitely praying for him. We are definitely praying for him. So,
yeah. And I think we have some other Floridians who, you know, who follow us and whatnot. So, yeah, definitely sending our love to everybody out there, whether you follow us or not, you know, just anyone who's down that way.
that's right. That's right. No matter where you are, we got you. We got you. Praying for you. So,
yes, sir.
All right.
I'm curious to see how that. I know you had a hurricane game that impacted you guys. You guys had to play your game on Friday, but I believe Tampa plays New Orleans at New Orleans, so I don't think it's going to impact their game. So yeah,
No, so from what I understand, Tampa Bay already moved up out of there. They went to New Orleans already.
Oh, really?
Early in the week, they went out there early in the week, man, just to get away from all of that. So, which was smart. I mean, that's exactly what they should have done.
Yeah.
So, no, that was a headsy call, you know, by them guys. So, get out of harm's way, man. This thing is nothing to play around with. It's affected a lot of people, not just in Florida, but we know like Georgia, North Carolina, you know, Tennessee. There's been a lot, man, a lot from this going on, and we just, like I said, we just hope everybody's safe. Being able to watch games and enjoy your family, man. So it's important. It's important.
Yep. Yeah, it's back to back. Last week's hurricane, and then 2 weeks ago, and then this week is just back to back. And I think we have another month and a half of hurricane season. So hopefully we go unscathed from this, and hopefully that's it. There's no more hurricanes. But yeah, so with tonight's episode, JD and I will be cracking down, doing some of the grades. JD has pulled out a couple clips that he wants to go over, and like we said, we're going to talk about Kareem Hunt, we're going to talk about JuJu, we're going to talk about all that good stuff, and of course, I've gotten a lot of people who commented on our channel this past week since the post game show, said we didn't talk enough about a certain right tackle, and tonight we're gonna tackle that.
Really? So we didn't talk enough about it? Okay.
So we didn't talk about enough about Jawaan Taylor. They said they wanted to hear what JD had to say about Jawaan Taylor, and I said, okay, I hear you loud and clear. And I'll tell you, JD, what I say to a lot of people, at least like 15 people had commented saying I didn't hear it. And I was looking at a live chat on a Bleacher Report and here when this premiered, saw a live chat there talking about Jawaan Taylor, and then I saw a lot of comments talking about Jawaan Taylor. So the people want to know what you got to say about Jawaan Taylor. You know, being the blocking extraordinaire that you were, people want to see what you got to say about that, and also the penalties, which a lot of people were really pissed off about the penalties. But that's a 2-year storyline for Jawaan Taylor. So
yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah, I'll talk about it. No problem talking about it. So, love to.
All right, brother.
So anything Chiefs we got to talk about, man, I'm here to talk about it, Marcus. You know that. So
all day, every day, baby. So we're going to begin with our grades for Monday. It's not going to be as long as our usual grades because, we got to tackle other stuff with it being our chief concern show. So we're going to get into JD's grades for this past week. So here we go. Let's do it, JD.
All righty. So we'll start out, man. QB grades. Okay, QB. We'll start out with our fearless leader at the helm. He had a much better game for us this week in the previous weeks. I look at it. Game 2, I had him at C. Game 4 against the Chargers, I had him at C+. I think everybody tried to talk him into a B- is where they at. And so, this week against New Orleans, the ball was coming out pretty quick. I think he understood what he had to go against as far as, getting the ball to Travis Kelce, which is a great thing. Also, too, I know TJ said some things about, where they wasn't really getting no looks, but he got a lot of targets. He tried to get the ball in his hands a lot, actually, that game after going back through it. So they had a great game plan, not to mention getting the ball to JuJu like he should have. McCole Hardman as well. Noah Gray got a touch on him. Jody Fortson got a touch. Patrick Mahomes did a good job this game. I actually gave him, and he took off running when he needed to, catch some first downs and whatnot. This week, man, I gave Patrick a B. Is what I gave him. Okay, gave him a B. You can almost say B plus, but I'm gonna say B. All right, much better than what he has been giving us the past couple of weeks. I think he'll say that. Witchy Hall says B plus. Uh, Probably could be, but Witchy, like Sir Charles Driver said, Pat was dancing around like Muhammad Ali. He was doing a couple little flips here, little turns and whatnot, and uh, maybe the one that he threw it probably could have gotten one to Xavier Worthy for a touchdown. The one in the end zone where he kind of, did a little pirouette and just threw the ball, so
that was the P run, right, on that play?
yeah, it was the P run. And so, that was I don't know, kind of questionable. Like, hey man, what you doing? Go on, run in. He should have ran it in for a touchdown. Actually, he had the lane, just didn't take it. So I gave him a B. I think he got a solid B, man. I gave him a solid B. Much better than what he did the previous weeks. But he's actually looking better. So he was solid in the pocket. B is one of those things, man, that I think he deserves. So.
Yeah, I will say it did look a little bit. We talked about not having the magical Mahomes moment so far this year. I will say that game looked the most like getting some of that magic back. That one run he had where he dove for the first down, but like he made a little move where he kind of broke the defender's ankles there on the side, and then he dove to get the first down. He had some of those moments. So it seems to start to get his confidence back in himself. And yeah, it looked like he's getting back on track. It's probably one of the better games of the year, I think, if not the best game of the year for him.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the best game that he's had this year. And also, too, he had the one where he kind of slipped and fell down, and he could have thrown it to Travis for a first down.
Yeah,
missed him on that. So just looked like he just lost his footing. Just went down. So
that damn turf monster.
Yeah, but it's encouraging just to see where he's going. Right now. And that's good. He gives us B's, B pluses. I mean, we're going to win. And like, look, and because we said we have a high standard for Patrick, like Patrick has for himself, I think a B grade is something that is fair. So,
no doubt, no doubt.
Witchy House said, I love that he was less hesitant to hand off a throw. Yeah, I agree with you. It seemed like the ball was coming out of his hands a little bit more decisively, except the times when they dropped off in 7 or 8 in coverage, kind of threw him for a loop. But I think that's what teams have been trying to do. That's where you kind of slow Patrick Mahomes down because they just got the numbers at that point, right? I think that's for any quarterback.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Mm-hmm.
All right, JD, now we're going to go to one of the guys we're going to talk about later on the show, but Kareem Hunt, man, the guy came out dominating on Monday.
Ooh, Kareem Hunt, man. Listen, Kareem Hunt was spectacular, just running the football. And he was running with a lot of conviction, running behind his pads. He was getting skinny in the hole, the little jump cuts and getting through for the extra yards. And like you said, Marcus, he was just falling forward for a yard. He just wasn't stopping him from doing what he wanted to do. And it was good because he didn't look like he was tired. You could have gave him the ball all game, and he seemed like he'd have been fine with it. But with his play, what he's just shown has increased the productivity of our offense significantly. Not only that, but it's also opened up a lot of things as far as like in the passing game. There's a lot more things you can do. You can throw the ball to him in the backfield. He caught the one little swing pass, which was great. Was going to try to get him one in the screen. He's a workhorse, and we got to utilize him, man. He did a tremendous job. Gave it to Carson Steele. Carson Steele did a great job running up and down the field, running behind his pads. I know everybody was saying about the one that was kind of like a handoff. We shouldn't have, I think the guy was just trying to do what he was asked to do. And to be honest with you, we shouldn't let him go in as tight is. Travis shouldn't have let him get around for the guy to be in the play. So for me, I gave our running backs, man, I gave him an A. P-Ron came in and did his thing too. So those guys look good together. The way that they was able to just come in and just kind of feed off of one another. And that running back room looked like it did last year when you had the guys celebrating one another, them being happy for each other. But if this is any indication how it's going to look for the rest of the year, and then you talk about getting Pacheco back, man, we're going to be a hard team to stop, and he just came at the right moment when we needed him, when we started, losing wide receivers. And so A for those guys.
Yeah, and it also tells you too, like it. I mean, I know there's all ligament damage for his injury, but if there's any setbacks, it's like okay, like Pacheco, take your time, like take as long as you want because we got a guy who's come in and has looked. I mean, you can make the argument he's looked better than Pacheco, but like you can make the argument. I'm not saying he is better than Pacheco. I'm just saying you can make the argument that he fits his offense even better than Pop. And he's looked phenomenal. Like we said on the postgame show. He said that, he's going to shock the world with how much he hasn't lost a step. And it really looks like he hasn't missed a beat. I mean, he may not be as fast as he was, but he still has that burst and explosion, JD.
No, he does. And to be honest with you, I think, him and Pacheco, it's hard to because they have two different games that they run and how they do things. Hunt definitely has a lot more vision. He's got a lot more experience. He's been in this offense doing things a little bit differently. He knows how to run the zone and stretch, and he knows how to do all those things really well. And so this is his baby. This is when he came in. This is exactly what our offense was supposed to be like. And so we haven't actually had a guy like him until Isaiah Pacheco came here and was able to do the things he was able to do. We seen him start getting a little bit more of the load. Before then, we were just, maybe give him 10, 15 carries. We started increasing it because we still wanted to pass the football. But with Kareem Hunt here, we could just hand that ball off, man, and let him tote it. Let him tote the rock. Let him tote the rock, man. And let the boys up front, let them jokers eat. Let them jokers eat. So,
yeah, you also saw like a little bit more of like the under center play actions, which like in this offense we don't really see that often. Like the under center play action play, like I mean, because Kareem Hunt was running so effectively and like getting 5 yards a pop, it was like whoa, like we're actually running some PA rollouts. I mean, like I don't see it often in this offense, the PA rollout with Pat. So I mean, I thought that was pretty cool to see how effective we run the ball that we actually were able to throw some of that in there.
Yeah. The thing is, it didn't work down on the goal line, and I think on the round, see that play that tipped off Juju's hands remind you of when the Seahawks didn't run the ball, the Patriots intercepted the ball in the end zone. I said the exact same thing. I said it was the exact same play, and I put it out there on Twitter. Amber Brown looked exactly the same. The difference in that was Pat threw it a little bit behind Juju. I mean, that's a fastball, and so a player's expecting it right here when you catch it. That's exactly where Juju's expecting it, right here, right in front of him, where he can put his hands out and actually receive the ball. Like when it's a little bit behind you, and I think Juju was ready to make the catch and pull it in, and the DB hit him. He hit him, and that's what helped dislodge the ball going to Kalen's hands, and that sucker take off running down the field, man. I could have watched that and him just running all day long, just rumbling and down the field, man. Yeah, big fella got some wheels on it, no doubt about it. But that play in itself, can you say, is there little things you could talk about? Maybe if Worthy rubs a little bit better on that, is that DB there? Possibly not. You don't know. Does Juju take it up a little bit more? But I know it is just it's a slice route. It's right there. That's exactly how it's supposed to be ran. Could you take a step forward and then go? Possibly, but I think this is like it's a straight rub. Like it's immediately coming right now. So you can't take a step and go. You got to go right now. So Danny Akers, yes, JD, that interception was mostly pass fault, but Juju could have made that catch. Well, he had it on his hands, and the DB just made a good play. He dislodged it. And so I think if the DB's not dislodging it, he's pulling it on in. So,
yeah, I think with the way Hunt was running, I mean, you at least pound that thing two times with Hunt. Hunt should have at least had 2 to 3 touchdowns in that game on Monday.
Yeah, if we hand it off from the 2, then we're not even talking about this thing.
Yeah,
which we should have probably done.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, they wanted to try it, and we've seen the results. So,
yep. Mm-hmm. All right, JD. Now we're gonna get to receiver. So JuJu, I talk about, I like I said on Monday, it was a throwback Thursday on a Monday with these guys, with JuJu and Kareem Hunt, taking back the clock a little bit.
Yeah, man. Look, JuJu came in and 7 receptions, 130 yards, 18.6 average. He did just an incredible job. And like I said, that play, sure, he could have probably had it. He probably could have brought it in. Like Andre said, JuJu made up for it. He did. He made up for it. Not only that, but he caught the one that was down and out, and he caught it behind him. When he slid on the ground and pulled it in. That was a hell of a catch. That was
nasty.
But this is this is what I was saying. I was trying to make this point all week before then. Is JuJu is the same guy we had in 2022. I mean, it wasn't like 5 years JuJu left. And I think sometimes people are like, oh, we ain't the same JuJu from 22. That was 2 years, folks. Year and a half. I mean, it ain't really been a whole 2 years. And so JuJu is here making plays. Yeah, the Pats didn't know how to use him. Yeah, he probably wasn't as healthy as he should have been. Yeah, they got a whole different type of demand up there than they do down here in Kansas City. But this is an indication. And I don't know if, Marcus, do you have that video to kind of show a little bit what,
JuJu's comments? Yeah, we got it. Here.
Yeah.
I'll roll it.
This is the difference.
In the locker room when you won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, when you were here, you feel that same kind of vibe here now, even though there's a bunch of different people?
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, there's no place like this, man. Like what we have here is so special. Like, it's unreal. Like, from the workers in the cafeteria to the workers in our locker room, like the janitors, like, I was eating breakfast this morning at Chick-fil-A, and I saw the janitor, like, just saying what's up to him, like, random, and just, like, connection we have. It's just everyone around the building is just so much, like, that chemistry is there.
JD, I mean,
yeah,
JuJu, at least he knows now that he shouldn't have left, that it is different here. And, he played Pittsburgh, great organization, goes to Kansas City, wins the Super Bowl. Then, I'm not knocking the guy for going to chase the bag. He got the bag with New England. But then he sees an organization that's not the New England from yesteryear. That's the New England of right now, and that's not what it was. And he's like, okay, I've seen a poverty franchise. Now I'm going to go back to where I made where I got my ring.
Yeah. That and like you said, he went to go see if the grass is green on the other side. He finds out it's not. That every organization is not like the Chiefs. And like you said, I'm not mad at him trying to go chase the bag. When it comes down to it, man, you got to do what's best for you and your family. And so if the Chiefs weren't willing to pay him what he was going to get up there in New England and other places, he felt like that's what he needed to go do. So went to go find out, maybe that money ain't just everything. And so they still got a little change on the hook, and he comes back here, and we got it. So JuJu is a guy that has a lot of ability. We know this. We understand that he's a possession receiver. Still had to be the fastest guy. Like somebody said, he's only 28 years old. He's a young guy. He's not old by no means. So he still got it. You can see how he took off running on the 50-yarder, the one. He probably could have scored, was almost about to go score. So JuJu is still a beast out there running. And was legit, a couple years ago when he was up there in Pittsburgh, the reason they got rid of Antonio Brown, was ready to move on from him because JuJu was the guy. All of a sudden, they was like, well, we're going to put him on JuJu. JuJu could be the number one. So we actually have a guy who has a lot of experience and ability of being a number one receiver. He's definitely a number two in any of the offense. Because somebody didn't want to use him that way, well, that's their loss in our game. So he's happy to be here, and he sees it. And we're happy that he's here. And I'm happy. I'm more happy, than everybody else, because I'm just like, I know this guy can still play. And he showed everybody can do it. So, so JuJu doing what he did. Not only that, but also too Xavier Worthy going out there, playing like he did, catching him a nice little a deep bomb. You know what I'm saying? For his and for his mom getting a touchdown. Xavier Worthy, man, we try to get the ball to him, and that's exactly what we should try to do every single week. He's a guy that we can't think he's too young for him to come out here and play. We can't think he's just a young guy. We see a lot of young guys come out here and do well. Well, Xavier Worthy, you could tell that the lights are not too big for him. He's coming out here, man. He's performing, and rightfully so. We should go ahead and keep giving him a little bit more looks. So I'm not sure how many looks we gave him, man, total. But I knew that they went into the game. They said we got to get this guy going. Throw some deep routes to him. Let him see what we can do, and he's got to test them. Test the DBs. Go after one time. Go after two times. Go after three times. As many times as you possibly can to throw the ball up to Xavier Worthy deep. Do it. Put the DBs on their heels, okay? Because it opens up. They got to open up and try to stop us, from things like they get behind them. So
you had 6 targets.
6 targets. Okay, that's good. 6 targets is great. So Travis Kelce's going to get the other ones. JuJu is another one's going to get some, and then everybody else can fill in where they want to. So I love what these wide receivers did this past week. So that's why I gave these guys. I gave wide receivers a B+. Gave them a B+, man. Gave them B+. They did a hell of a job filling in, losing our guy Rashid Rice, and they stepped up big like they should have. Okay, stepped up big, and that's why I got confidence in these guys, Marcus. It's exactly why I got confidence in these guys.
Hey, I mean, if anyone was watching our shows last week, they should and we're arguing with you about our receiving corps. They should apologize for that because I know you backed Sky Moore big time, and we have a question about Sky Moore actually, and he didn't really do much. Seems like his role got kind of relegated a little bit, but and Mecole Hardman stepped up, and you just wanted. I think it was the essence of what you were saying was like the guys. We had the guys in the room. Sky Moore is a guy you use as an example, but we have the guys here. Mecole Hardman got the reps that he wasn't getting. I guess you could say Sky Moore's reps, and he looked good, 4 for 33, and he looked good. And that's all you were asking for, really. But we got a question here from Kel. How does Moore get his confidence back? Is it confidence, or is he really not very good? I'm still rooting for him and hope it's just his confidence.
I think it's confidence. I think his confidence is a little shot. And so sometimes what ends up happening, you press so hard and get everything right that you start doubting yourself. I'll be the first one to tell him, man, look, you're the same guy that we drafted, a second-round pick. You were one of the guys that had route skills, had great hands, could go up and get the ball, had a good pass catch radius to you. You was exciting in college. And so when we brought you in, that excitement is still there. And so sometimes you had to go down and just relax. We heard Andy talk about this during training camp. And the thing is, look, I understand this as a former second-round pick myself. There's a lot of pressure on a guy to do well. And you keep hearing all the noise out here. And it's hard not to, for you to miss it. It's hard to stay away from it because you hear from everybody. And guess what? Everybody takes a shot at you. Everybody tried to jump on your back. And the support you got is the ones that's supposed to support you. And sometimes you start hearing, grumblings from other people that you live around, neighbors, and now Sky Moore sucks. And, in social media, man, it's probably one of the worst things ever for people's confidence because guys check it, and they do. So I don't think it's a question of ability. I don't think it's a question of his speed. I don't think it's a question of his route running. It's all in his head right now at this moment. So hopefully this week when he's going in, sometimes you just got to play, say, look, man, if you make a mistake, just make the mistake and move on from it. That's what you got to do. And so, of course, when he drops a kickoff, picks it up, everybody's like, oh, here we go, Sky Moore again. Somebody said something about, oh, JD, what you about Sky Moore? I said, what about him? Man's still on the roster. That's what's all about him. So I'm still rooting for the guy. He's still on the Chiefs. I'm still rooting for him. And we'll still continue to root for him. Okay? I will be on the table talking about Sky Moore until they decide to do something different. Other than that, until that day comes, he's my guy, just like each and every guy that's in that locker room is. And so that's where I am as a former player, as somebody that had coaches, understand the guys go through things as a coach. You got to stick with them. And it is about perseverance, but also, too, you got to help him get out of his head mentally to get him back with his confidence, knowing he can do what he still was able to do, what we employed him to do.
Yeah,
so
agreed. Appreciate the contribution from Rustus and Droid.
Appreciate it, man.
Moore's never been good at KC. I like the guy, but come on, 3 years now, he needs to go. That's fair. I mean, to each their own.
Hey, man, look, Rust Android, or whatever USA. Appreciate it, first off, for the $5 contribution, my brother. And this is just a difference of opinion. The 3 years he's had here, this is actually his third year. Last year, he ended up getting hurt. And so Sky Moore is still playing catch-up somewhat. And I said this, Marcus. I said Sky Moore might be a guy that needs to develop. He'll have to develop slowly. We can't expect a guy to come in like Rashid Rice and get it right away, right? But I was saying the same thing about Xavier Worthy. Like, there's some things he can do. Like a first-round pick, there's some things he should be able to do and get him up to speed. Some guys take a little bit longer. That's just what it is. So teams have patience. The Chiefs have patience. Scott Moore's he's contributed to the championships. So the catches he's made, 20-some catches the year after that, all go into winning the championship. JD, you should be on the Chief staffs. You're a motivator. I still think you'll be a good attorney, though. You know what? I hear that all the time. But you know what? I'm always going to come in, and I'm always going to fight for my guys, Rick. You know, appreciate seeing you out here, Rick, for sure. So anytime they want to employ me on the staff, I'm always here. They know where to call me, you know?
Yeah, we have an insider in the staff then.
Yeah. But the thing is, what coaches see is different what fans see. Coaches see it because they see him every single day. They see his film study. They see the work that he puts in. The fans don't see that. The only thing they see is on game day, and that's it. They don't understand all the hard work that goes into having to prepare yourself to get out there on game day, to get everything right, okay? And sometimes it's not going to be right for everybody. I said this before, and this is part of one of the reasons I was talking about, you know, the whole, well, if Patrick hadn't been divvying up to other guys are not getting opportunities out there on the field. And so, yeah, like when they do get it, shoot, some guys are going to be, you know, a little spastic about it. It was good that we see McCall Hardman get some looks. It was great. We needed to see that. So maybe need to throw some things like that to Sky Moore, see what he can do. We said, hey, look, you know what? Instead of using McCall Hardman on punt returns, which he wasn't returning anything, and that looked like it looked abysmal. Let's hand the ball off to him, throw some little wide receiver screens and see what he can do. And you see what the results were. So he's part of that whole B+ that I gave the wide receivers. So we want to go through this fast, Marcus, because I know it's things to get through.
One more comment from Rustus and Android. I get you, I do, but I think guys like Nico that could have had the chance, could have that chance. Love you guys. Appreciate the contribution again, man.
Appreciate it, my brother. Appreciate it. You know, so like I said before, this is just not me talking. This is Andy Reid keeping him on the staff. This is Andy Reid keeping him employed. So, but I know how I know how we think. I know exactly how it is. I know how the conversation goes. And a guy can start doubting himself. I told him this, and Russ DeRoy, I don't know if you heard this the other day or not, but I talked about there was a guy who actually has a gold jacket his second year in the league, and he had the dropsies. And they thought he might have been a bust, and that was Tony Gonzalez. He ended up becoming the best tight end ever, you know? And so we got the two best tight ends that ever played the game, Tony Gonzalez and Travis Kelce. And so one of them wasn't going to be that guy because he had the dropsies and everybody was calling him a bust. So it may just work out for Sky Moore. And if it don't work out here for him, I wish him well to go somewhere else going to work out. So this might not necessarily be the same system that he needs to be here in the Stride. But as long as he's here, I'm okay giving him that chance. I like Nico too, but the thing is the Chiefs got money invested into Sky Moore. If they feel like he's better than Nico, then that's their decision. So
He gets that extra leash because he was a high draft pick,
Yeah.
and other guys don't, which
And-
I get.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah,
Shoot, he was a beast in college. He came
was.
out. There was a reason he was a second round pick. It
Yeah,
ain't like they just liked his name.
Oh yeah,
Mark.
no. Many of the experts had him going in the first round. It was, they had him going like top 19. I remember in some drafts, some mock drafts.
So,
So you mentioned Travis Kelce and tight ends. So that leads us to our segue to our tight end grade. JD, how did you have the tight ends doing on Monday?
yes, sir. Tight ends. It's great to see Travis Kelce doing his thing. He showed his magic. We seen the magic, laddering over there to P. Ryan. Him catching the football, being wide open in the middle, getting the ball to him early, right after break. This looked like Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes of old. So they was on the same wavelength that they had been on for quite some time, and it looked beautiful. He made a beautiful catch on the first down, running the out route, and I was like, man, that's a hard catch. And he caught it right here at the bottom, with his hands. Beautiful, beautiful catch. Had to appreciate it. But he did a great job. Noah Gray did a great job. Jordy Fortson being activated comes up. He did a great job. And like you just sit there and said, I think Mike Brennan was talking about it. The reason we activated Jordy Fortson didn't activate Nico Remigio should tell you something. That's right. Should tell you a whole lot. And that goes into what I was saying, Mike Brennan, that these guys know who guys are. We see things and like, oh, we can make a decision off what we see, them playing in a football game only for 60 minutes. Well, they see these guys every single day in practice, in meetings, how they walk around, everything. So they have a whole different measurement of they're basing their things off of bringing the guy up. So Jordan Forster was ready, coming in, catching the football, looked beautiful. Andre Wiley, Jared Wiley. Jared Wiley came in, getting some blocks. He got a little holding call on him. Didn't really like that. But I love the 14 personnel, man. 4 tight ends. You're not seeing this nowhere else. You're not seeing this anywhere else. Folks, I'm telling you. This is something special going on with the Chiefs. This is no other offense is doing what we're doing. They're not even showing it. 13 personnel, 14 personnel, Daniel. 14 personnel. Go after that. 4 tight ends. And all these guys can go out there and go catch. They can all go out there and go catch. So it was a beautiful sight. I agree with you, Witchy Hall. Jody coming in cold and balling out was beautiful. Gorgeous sight. You know what was even better? Him wearing number 89. Oh, man. I was like, that looked good. It looked good. If y'all don't know, it was my old number, 89. That was what your boy JD was rocking, okay? So when I seen him out there running, man, I was like, he's wearing it proudly. Looks good. So
the 89 tight end fraternity, you and Jody Fortson, Keith Cash.
Yes, sir. Keith Cash. So man, look, it was good. Our tight ends did a good job. I had the one. Obviously, I told you Jared Wiley had the holding call. And then, of course, I said, Travis probably should have gotten that little block on the end outside where we wouldn't have had the safety come in and hit Carson Steele. He shouldn't have been part of that play. At that point, man, you got to do whatever you can to stop that guy. He's blitzing off the end. You got to make sure you get it. Okay, last one. Noah Gray gets no credit, and he has been there in the clutch. Great ball player. Exceptional ball player, my man. Whoever the rest of them enjoy, exceptional ball player. We love Noah Gray around here because we know he's the utility guy. He does everything, right? So he comes in, man. He can fix your sink. He can do your electric. Shoot, he'll do your ceiling fan and mow your grass. That guy comes in with his toolbox and his van, and he takes care of it all. So you in a pinch, that's the guy you call. Noah Gray gets a lot of love in this channel. Lots of love. So, it's a good thing. So with that, man, with the tight ends, man, I gave these guys the blocks, 2 bad blocks. Don't take it away. I'm gonna give them a B plus, Marcus. I'm a little biased on my guys. I ain't gonna lie. Okay, but I've been C plus, B minus, They got a B plus this week for me. So
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, I know those are your guys. And quite frankly, there was a point in the game where Pat was only throwing to tight ends and running backs. I mean, we didn't even hear receivers' name till like midway through the second quarter. So, you know, he likes his tight ends. They love their tight ends in Kansas City.
he likes the tight ends. Susie S says Andy Reid is always going to go with experience first. That leaves Remigio still on the practice squad. It's a pecking order, isn't it, JD? It's definitely a pecking order. You know, utilization, if they got to see where they can utilize you. And so what ends up happening with us is because we have guys with the same stature, same skill set, that becomes kind of redundant. Like there's no reason to bring a guy in to do something that somebody else can do. So that's what I like for Andy and those guys, because they know how to utilize the strengths of the guys that we have. But they had a clear plan. 14 and 13 personnel. They was going to run the football, and then it was going to pass out of it. And that changes things as far as how you had to defend an offense like that, having 4 tight ends. Because you expect them to run. And then all of a sudden they branch out and expand, and you throw the football out of it. Come on. That's playing chess over checkers. That's exactly what that is.
Yep.
So
Yep. And we have really dynamic tight ends too. So I mean, it's to be able to utilize just that, for the fact that we had only one less tight end on the roster on Mondays. Kind of wild, JD. 4 tight ends to 5 receivers. I mean, that's like old school football.
Old school football right there, man. It's old school football. And like I said, most teams, I mean, shoot, we carried only 3, I think, you know, coming into that, you know. Shoot, sometimes we might have a 4th guy, but we had, usually it was like 3. So we ran a whole lot of 2 tight end sets. If we had another 4th guy that came in, I don't know if he no 4th guy dressed. I think it was only us 3 tight ends at the time, mostly. So
Wow.
Appreciate that. Appreciate all the questions. That's good questions right there.
All right, JD. We're gonna go to the offensive line. How do you have these guys grading out?
O-line. I think the interior line did a great job. Even Wanya Morris, Jawaan Taylor did a good job in the run game. They were actually doing some good blocking, some good double teams, getting up to the second level. It could have been better on Jawaan Taylor's side. So the guys did a great job. I seen Creed Humphrey throw, I don't know if it was a DB or linebacker, threw him straight out the club. He took him over to the sideline and put him on the coach's leg. I said, who was doing this? And nobody from the Saints sideline tried to run over like, hey man, what are you doing? They just like, hey man, you just got your tail kicked. You know, what are we supposed to do about that? All they can do is just pick the guy up, man. Hey man, try it next time. Okay, go at it again. It was so funny to see because he was, he runs with that little, he got that little walk on him, and he just kind of like threw him out like a bouncer and then just kind of walked away slowly. I was like, he's a bad boy, man. Ain't nobody touching that. Ain't nobody want no part of that thing right there. So Creed, man, looked incredible. Trey Smith had a holding call on him too. You say Wanya Morris, he got hurt. King Sumate came in, seen a little bit of him, which was decent, but Wanya came in. He came back in. So heart of a warrior, mind of a champion, okay? He wanted to come out to get his jobs done. And so the offensive lineman, in lieu of everything that happened, I was generous with them because of Kareem Hunt running the way that he wanted to run, okay? You see some of the lanes, and it was kind of clear for him to see. He made some jump cuts. These guys is out there, they were thrashing these dudes against a good defensive line. New Orleans Saints have a good defensive line. We start going through and seeing all the guys they got. They're like, dang God, these guys are for real. No reason they've always been like one of the top defenses in the league. And so I gave our offensive lineman a B- is what I gave him. I actually gave him a B-. Okay,
it's not bad. Not bad.
It's
It's a collective grade. So if there's
grade. Yes, it's collective grade. Yep. So Lacey Snake C+. Oh, Lacey's. Oh, she hard on. I see, Lacey. Hey. I got no problem with it. So Andrea says too. She said a C as well. No problem with it whatsoever. I think I seen where's Ricky Henderson. Ricky, man, he's been on the tackles. You want to talk about them? I seen some of our comments on YouTube. Ricky was on them jokers, man. Teach from Southern Cal. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 10. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, brother.
So our tackles are a weak point. They are not the strength of our offensive line, for sure, but they are very good tackles. They're very good tackles. I think Jawaan Taylor is a good tackle. Now he has to do much better. He has to do much better. C, because we didn't get the touchdown. Which one, Andrea? You talking about the one on the pass? Is that the one you're talking about? Because it wasn't the offensive lineman's fault. Because I know they wanted to run the football.
She's talking about the Noah Gray touchdown.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That was our guy right there, Jawaan.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Andrea, okay. So B minus, C plus, and we'll live right there with it. We'll live right there. So I'm not going to disagree whatsoever.
We'll get into more on Jawaan right after the grades, just to talk a little bit about some of the what people have been saying about him.
Yeah.
All right, so JD, the other side of the ball, D-line time.
D-line time. Woo-wee. So my guys on the D-line. I made this statement, and this is absolutely true. And Marcus, look, I've been as patient as I possibly can. I'm not one that I like to yell at the refs. I even, I get how it goes in the game. I do. I get how it goes, okay? I played it for 12 years. I understand this, right? My brother's a referee. My good friend, Jim Diopolis, that we know has been on the show, well-known NFL ref for a number of years. I get it. And Jim was like my brother said, both of them have said, they miss things, right? They miss things. But clearly, it is a travesty with the holding, the mugging, the assault of Chris Jones on a week in, week out basis. Play every single play just about, or every other play. They are holding the dog doo-doo, I don't want to cuss, out of Chris Jones, out of CJ. It's unbelievable. Absolutely, it is despicable what they're doing to that man. And they're not calling it. And it's right there in their face. Now, I seen a Raiders fan on here. He was just saying, hey, man, y'all pay the refs. Yeah, we do pay the refs. You're absolutely right, we do, okay? So maybe we ain't pay them enough because they're not calling nothing against us for Chris Jones. So I don't know what it is we had to do. Maybe we got to pay them a little bit more money. Marcus, okay, for us to win all these games. We would pay the hefty price to have refs in our pockets. So
I know Chris Jones would pay him a little bit more after that contract he got this offseason. He'll pay him a little bit more so he can start calling holdings on these offensive lines.
Yeah. Now, obviously, I'm being sarcastic here, but look. They said, and when I said it, look, they could call holding every single play. We know this, right? It's kind of ticky-tack. It's kind of in between and stuff. But there are some blatantly disruptive holding calls that are on Chris Jones that is still not being called. And I said, it's like the Shaq rule. He is so dominant that they just don't want to make the call. And I said this. I said, it's probably because they know if they call holding calls on the offensive line against Chris Jones, it'll slow the game down. The game will last twice as long. And they can't stop the flow. So Chris is like, yo, man, they holding me. They know it. And the ref is like, no, I know it. We see it. Hey, man, just got to go ahead. Chris could have, they know he can have 20-something sacks a year. They know it. He's being double teamed, triple teamed. And they grabbed him from everywhere, Marcus. I mean, everywhere. And they're doing everything to stop this man. Can we show the film? Do we have some film out on the show? I'm just going to, so y'all can just see the ridiculousness of this.
Yeah, hold on here.
Showing this, man. And just so here's Chris, right? Double team. This guy's this guy's got him. He's riding him. He's holding his jersey from the back. Chris Swims, my guy that I coached in high school, Landon Young, love him. And Chris, the guys got him, holding him. Like literally. How do you not see this? He's holding on for dear life because he knows Derek Carr is in peril. He knows he's about to get his head ripped off, and he knows he'll lose his job if I do not stop this man right here. And he's holding on to what he could possibly hold on to. And that's the top of Chris Jones' butt cheeks, his jersey, and every possible thing he can hold on to stop it. This is what I'm talking about. How do you not see this? And this is just one play. This is just one blatant play. And this is after they called Chris for offsides, Marcus. And they held him on that play too. Like I had the series. I want to show the series, man. But this is unfair what Chris is doing to these guys. It's just unfair. And for them, they like, look, I'd rather get a hold. I'd rather hold on to this dude than this guy getting the full hit on Derek Carr. He's a monster out there, man. He can't be stopped. You got two guys that he still can't stop him. So this is crazy. Chris does this, man, and he don't even complain with the ref. He don't even complain. You see him, he just like, all right, I got to stop. There's a pressure. I'm good with it. They can go and I'm talking about play after play after play after play after play of holding on Chris Jones. So ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, man. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy. So I know I'm preaching to the choir. Okay, I'm shouting to the void, but this is what we see. So the rest of the D line, everybody else did well, and I'm glad Captain Wells just said this. Yeah, even Turk Warner got ticked off. Yes, I'm gonna say. I said this yesterday in one of my Zoom meetings I had with guys. I said Turk Warrington is the reason our D line is playing the way that they're playing. That man is on a mission. That man has another gear. I don't know what it is he did, but that Joker has been playing at a high level this entire year. First game was a little, still kind of wondering, and it's like, then he realized he has a mojo. He has it. And he just started letting it show. I guess he just like, man, shoot, screw it. If I mess up, I mess up. But he started playing with a reckless abandonment. If you see how he's coming off the football, hat in hands, he's coming with Marcus, with speed and pressure and power. I mean, he's doing a tremendous job, man, throwing these guys around. Turk Warrington is killing folks out there. He is absolutely killing folks. Mike is doing a great job, too. Mike is coming in, not Dana, but Purnell. Both those guys are doing a tremendous job. It's good to see Dana back out last night. But not last night, shoot, I'm thinking on Monday. But Turk Warrington, he has reached a whole different level with his game. He really has. He really has. And he got ticked off, Kathy. He did. He punched that one dude in the face. I'd rather not see him do things like that. I'd rather not see him do things like that because somebody retaliates is always going to get thrown with the flag. He should know that. He should know that. So, yeah, he's usually a mellow guy. You see him walking around, man, but he's doing a hell of a job this year. One hell of a job. So the D line, Kalafdis was able to get back there. FAU was able to give something. These guys were able to, give some pressures. It was a good thing. And when we was able to bring pressure, disrupted Derek Carr. Disrupted him. The only time he was able to hit that one deep to Shaheed was when we didn't get any pressure on him. He was able to sit back there and throw the football and launch it. So that's one thing you can't do with the Derek Carr, man. He got to be in his face all the way. Even though our defense don't get home, they do a great job containment. Yes, they do, Mike. Cutback lanes are non-existent. Yes, I watched a little bit of that, some of the cutback lane, doing a much better job. I still want to see a little bit more of that shed and come off and make the play. Shed and come off and make the play, Mike. But you're right. They're doing a much better job. They are. They're doing a much better job on that. And the reason those cutback lanes are non-existent is because they're allowing our linebackers to run. And those guys are sitting over in the hole in the gap. So I gave these guys, defensive linemen, I gave them a B+, man. I gave them a B+.
Yeah, when you're continuously stopping these like top tier running backs, I mean, you gotta get a B+ or above.
Yeah. That's why I wanted more sacks. Still need more.
I am surprised how Karlaftis. I mean, the fact that we are pretty much, I mean, we're leading most of these games. I know they're like kind of back and forth. The one on Monday wasn't, but Karlaftis only has 1 sack on the season. It's like we're not really closing. We're not really getting home on these things. Yeah, like Brandon said, we're containing, but we're not really closing. I mean, he's only got that 1 sack on the year, and you and I both thought Karlaftis was going to have a huge year as far as sacks wise.
Yeah,
we both said over 7.5. I think right now we only have 1. And we're It's tough sledding.
Tough sledding, man. Wichita has not many batted down passes this year so far either. Yeah, you're right. That's right. And some of that is because if a guy's not actually getting, like if you can't get back there, you're not getting pressure, then put your hands up. But maybe that's a good indication these guys are getting a little bit of penetration. But good, hey, great noticing that. Great noticing that. Absolutely.
Good call.
Charles Driver said, ID line work as a pack, and CJ getting double team makes it easier for the others to attack. Absolutely. I'm starting to see Turk getting double team too, Charles. Turk getting double teamed a few times. They starting to notice how good he's doing too. So when they start doing that, start seeing it, he's starting to get double teamed. So that's when you know a guy's out there and he's killing it. Start getting a little bit more noticed on those things.
Yep. Mike Perez is making life easier for Nick B, and that leads us to our next grade, JD, our linebackers.
Yes, sir. Linebacker grade. As a whole, Nick Bolton, start off with him, okay? Nick Bolton, running man, shadowing Alvin Kamara on man when he needed to. He just playing lights out football, man. He's playing lights out football. And a lot of that is because the D-line is doing what they're supposed to do. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do as a defensive tackle on the interior. Get the guys off the linebackers and then let the linebackers play. And it's exactly how it's supposed to work in a scheme like this. And Nick Bolton's all over the place. He is all over the place, man. He is disrupting, hitting guys. He hit Kamara on that one. Beautiful play. Sifting through, getting around the lineman to make that play on the screen to Kamara. Beautiful. Tremendous job by Nick. Drew Tranquil. Good job. Running around, making some tackles. Much better job that he had prior week. So he did a very good job this week. Now, we talked about Drew, being a smaller linebacker, whatnot. He played big this week. He really did. He played big this week. I seen him, use his hand shedding a lot better than what he's done in the past. So he did a great job. Leo Chanel. Now I'm going over to Leo. Great play design by the Saints. The bait. Now run the delayed go route by the tight end on Chanel. And he just caught Chanel's eyes looking in the backfield. That's what he did. Chanel's playing his position. He's looking to make sure nothing's coming back his way, but he's got man on this guy. He's got man on the tight end. So he's supposed to stay with him. Other than that, man, I think the guys did a good job. Just gave up a big touchdown by Chanel. So those guys did a good job, man. I gave our linebackers, man, I gave him a B. I actually gave him a B.
All right. I'm kind of surprised. I thought you go higher than that, but
hey, look, go on, give him a B+, Marcus. Shoot, why not? I D-line get a B+. I'm gonna give him a B+ too. They did a hell of a job on Kamara, stopping him. You're absolutely right. B+. Johnson caught a few balls on us, but that, that's it's what it is.
Yeah.
But y'all say B+.
Yeah, it seems the last few weeks we aren't getting beaten that much as we were by tight ends as we were in the beginning of the year. It seems like we've kind of slowed down on that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, now we're going to go to DBs, which started off nicely, finally getting a nice turnover. I know we always talk about turnover differential. That's usually not our strong suit with this defense for some reason. But, hey, first drive of the game, that beautiful one-handed grab by Brian Cook. Right as we were done with our Bleacher Report stream, our pregame one, that we go and see Brian Cook with a little snag with his one-handed interception. Start the game out.
Yeah. Great job by him. Bad job of Derek Carr trying to throw it up or trying to throw it out of bounds. I'm like, what are you thinking? I know if that sucker would have walked over on the sideline, I'd have been looking at him like, what the hell are you doing? What are you trying to do? And the only one that's open on the sideline is me. Throw it to me, right? Throw it to somebody else. Throw it to the stands. Get it to the front row, the first row. But don't ever throw one up like that in the middle of the field or on the field. It's crazy. So good job by him, man. Trent McDuffie, Watson, I seen Najee come in, do a good job on the wide receivers. Olave, Shaheed going down the middle on Cook. And it can't fall for that one. And that was set up, looked around the corner, and hit the post, deep post. You talking about throwing the ball on money. I'm going to have to give some on Derek Carr on that one, man. He threw that one right on the money. I always thought he was a talented quarterback anyway. You give him time, it gets a little hard for him. He's been torching a lot of defenses out there this year. That's why they've been so effective, against teams. The offense has been pretty good. But other than that, man, Chamari Carmer came in, made a couple of tackles. Justin Reed came in, made a few tackles. So I think they did a pretty decent job. I don't like to give up the deep ball like they did. But other than that, I think Trent McDuffie and those guys did a good job as far as corralling Olave. Johnson caught some footballs on us. That's about it. Morrow caught the one for the touchdown. But we had these jokers, man. We had them jokers and kept them out of the end zone. So I'm just going to give the whole entire defense a B+. I'm going to give them a B+. I gave the DBs a B. That's where I was. So, but I talked about it. I'm going to take from what they gave as far as keeping them out of end zone. I'm going to give them both a B+. Now linebackers and DBs might have been a B, but I'm going to give them B+. Okay, for the win and everything they was able to contribute. They did a good job. So.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, JD. I think everyone agrees with that, the way the defense has been playing all year long. And JD, finally, we got special teams grade. I know this is the more talked about one because of who's back there. And it's meaningless, too, because we saw Shaheed drop a kick return, too, and, no one said a thing about that. But Sky Moore was like, oh, see, here he is dropping a kick return. I mean, it was a touchback anyway.
Yeah. It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. Okay. Real simple. Okay. Buckner miss his. I have no idea why we're not getting more returns on our special teams, our punt return. No idea. And to be honest with you, actually I do. Take that back. Part of it is, I ain't going to say no names. Part of it is I don't see enough effort on some of the blocking by our guys on our punt return. I don't. And it's a daggone shame because McCole Harbin back there could be a weapon. And I don't know if it's not clean that he's not seeing it. Some of it's on him too. I ain't going to take it all just to block it. But some of my guys are getting pushed around. Some of my guys don't seem like they have the passion to be on special teams like that. And it's showing. And I know I'm not the only one seeing it. Special team coach, when I'm looking at my guys, and I go from each position, every guy, what they're doing, how you're blocking them. You know, you're supposed to open up your hips. You search your guy. You keep your eyes on the guy that you have. You never lose sight of him. You don't turn your head and lose sight of the guy. You never do. You always keep your eyes. You can sit back and you settle. And you take a blow. You get your hands on somebody. You move them out of the way. It's a bad look out there. It's a bad look. We got to fix it, man. It's unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And so, for me, the special teams got a C-, absolute C-. So, if it wasn't for the kicks of Buckner, you know, making up, probably would have been higher. But a C-, I didn't like it at all.
And we almost had disaster on that one field goal where Areza caught the snap and got almost lost control of it, but he made up for it right away. But oof, that could have been bad.
Yeah, could have been. So those guys could do better. And I know Dave is getting on their tail. If he's not, he should be.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably, if he's not, calling some jokers out because I would.
Yeah.
I sure would. And I'd be like, this right here, if you don't want to play, if you're not trying to get this thing done, we can find somebody else. Because right now, what I'm seeing from somebody, it's not all right. Maybe we need to put somebody else in there. So.
Yeah, maybe it's time to elevate Justin Ross and Nico.
Nico maybe on the return. I mean, Justin Ross, I don't know if he'll give you something on. He might. He played out there. Gunner and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how good he was at it, but he was out there.
Yeah. Hey, man, all we need for you to do is be willing to give. Willing. Right?
Yeah.
Takes no talent to be given. That's it.
Daryl says we need a Gary Stills or two. Yeah, give me Gary Stills and give me a Kenyon Fox. Bring him out there. They'll give us effort.
It'll be a whole different special teams in. You get them jokers like that. I wish you could clone them two guys. That's for sure.
All right. Okay, so JD, we have a few topics I wanted to go over quickly. It was beautiful grades. We were able to get the grade show in this week. So JD, we talked about Jawaan Taylor for a little bit, and I did some digging after all our fans were commenting, saying, you guys need to talk about it. You need to talk about it. So I did some digging. Obviously, he had the few penalties on Monday night, but Taylor is fourth in the league in penalties, in individual player penalties, with 7, 5 false starts, 2 holding penalties. The Chiefs as a whole have 27 penalties on the season. So Jawaan accounts for about 25% of those himself, which is pretty jarring. So JD, are you as alarmed by his play as most of the kingdom is? Because everyone just up in arms about his contract. I mean, whenever fans start counting a guy's money and they talk about his play versus how much he's getting paid, it's like, whoa, we're paying all this guy all this money, and like he hasn't really been what we thought he was going to be for at the right tackle spot. And then you add in the penalties, it's like, holy crap, like what are we paying this guy for? But JD, I will say this: I know we drafted Kingsley, we drafted Wanya, who was a right tackle. We do have the makings for potential if we do want to move off. I don't know what his dead money is, but I'm saying we do have a couple guys who can play right tackle if need be, if that is where they want to go. But JD, are you as alarmed with Jawaan Taylor's play as most of the kingdom is?
Am I alarmed? When I look at the games, full games of Jawaan Taylor, he does a pretty decent job. He's not a bad right tackle at all, by no means. What is amplified is the penalties. I think it goes into who he is as a player. So I don't know if it's a lack of focus. I don't know if it's just him trying to get a jump on some of these defensive ends, which the league is paying them more money. That's the reason they gave these jokers, the defensive ends, a whole lot of money. They're the second highest played position in football. Second highest. There's a reason, because that's their specialty. especially to come in and come get the football. That's what they're doing. And so Jawaan Taylor has to do a much better job focusing on the snap count, focusing on getting his hands inside. And he knows at a certain point, you got to let a guy go. And look, we all know it as blockers, okay? If you got a guy by his neck and he's trying to get around you, you already know that is a very sensitive spot that it could be called holding. You understand that. You're right there on the cusp, like it could be holding it. They could call that. That you should know these things in your head as offensive tackle, as a guy that's blocking pass rushers. It's not an easy job. I'm disappointed in the amount of penalties that he has. I'll say that. I say that. And like Andy was upset, like Andre said, Andy was upset the whole world saw Monday night after Noah didn't get the touchdown. Absolutely. And I said that, Marcus. I said it in the things we had to do for keys to victory. Eliminate the stupid penalties. Because those penalties, holding, false starts, backs us up, takes point. This one resulted in taking points off the board. Changes up our offense, puts us in bad field position, changes what we're going to do play calling wise, and it's a drive killer. It's all those things. So sometimes those things could even go to the point where you're thinking like, you just not only cost us a touchdown in this game, but you can almost cost us a game by doing things like that. And I know the guy's just trying to do his job. I don't mind guys giving effort. I don't mind. Sometimes holding's an effort thing. It really is, because you're trying to get your hands right. You're trying to hold the guys to the best of your ability. Like I said, you could call holder on every single play if you wanted to. But he needs to understand, man, they're looking at him more than anybody else. They're gonna be looking at him. And they're gonna call it. Hey, man, watch, 74 holding. Watch what he's doing. I guarantee it. If I'm a coach, I would say it every chance I got. As soon as the Chiefs go on offense, watch 74 holding. Watch 74 holding. And I'll be saying it from the stands. I would say it on the sideline. I'm going to make sure the refs hear it. Okay? So I'm going to put something subconsciously in their mind to be watching 74. Okay? But he can't do it. He can't put us in precarious positions, costing us scores, field position. Those things are unacceptable. Okay? And he needs to be held accountable for that. The one where we've seen him get better from lining up off sides, he fixed that. Okay? He fixed it. So this right here, the false starts, he's got to fix that too. So I wouldn't sit him down. I know Rick Henderson, I knew, here go Rick, OT stink. They don't stink. They're doing some stinky things. They're doing some really bad things, Rick. I agree with you on that. Jawaan Taylor, this game didn't have one of his best games. Now, I leave it up to them, Andy and those guys, how they decide to deal with it. This is a long season. All you can do is ask for him to get better than what he's doing. We don't have another right tackle on the team to just take Jawaan Taylor out because we don't like what he did. We just don't.
No, my point was we have guys for the future. Like, if you want to make Wanye or your right tackle or whatnot, and that's what he was naturally coming out of college, you can work with that in the offseason. But right now, no, you're not benching him for any reason, just because he's false starting or whatever.
Yeah, it's somebody. He got to get better, man. Hold him accountable for what he's doing and make sure he's getting better. Those are the things that you have to do. Other than that, I mean, it's on him. It's on him. That's bottom line. So when it becomes detrimental, then that's when it's like it's a problem, an issue, and it's been detrimental this past year. The things that's been going on. So hopefully this bye week, we'll see another Jawaan Taylor coming in after the bye week, getting better, and we'll look at it that way. So Rick Henderson said it's funny they never paid attention to him in Jacksonville when he did the same thing. It could be true. And Rick, you're absolutely right. It's the same thing we're talking about up there in Philadelphia.
Lane Johnson.
Lane Johnson is almost all sides every snap.
No.
Never calls it. Never. And I remember we went through, we was talking about to Jim Diopolis, right? Remember Marcus? And I was like, Lane Johnson does the same, jumping outside. He said, you know what? Sometimes they'll let guys get away with it. But if you see it, if I can see it in my eyes that I can see Jawaan Taylor before the snap, I mean, it's just blatant, like, oh, no, he's offside. You can't do that. You know, false start. You can't do that. So
it is weird because last year it was happening, right? He was getting called for the penalties. You know, he got benched for a little bit. They took him out of that one game because it kept happening. And it seemed like he stopped doing it. But then we come back to this season, he goes back to doing that again. It's like, what happened? You would think when he stopped doing it last year, the kind of moving early, you think he kind of broke that habit. But then we start over again this year. He goes right back to the old habit.
Well, last year was more the lining up. That's where he was getting deemed for more than anything else. Remember, he wasn't breaking the plane of the center with his alignment.
Yeah.
That was the main thing they was getting on him for. So, you know, the whole false start, I mean, that's a lack of focus. And I get you're trying to get a jump on the defensive end. You have to, right? Like I said, these guys getting paid a whole lot of money because that's what they're here to do. But his responsibility to stop those guys, his responsibility to focus up to make sure those things don't happen. And he's got to be more disciplined in doing that. He has to be. So that's about all I can say about it. I mean, shoot, what else you want me to say? Get rid of the guy? I mean,
ridiculous.
I'm not saying, not you, but I'm just saying for other people making an argument on those things, I mean, Jawaan Taylor's our best right tackle. Matter of fact, if you look at actually how he's been performing against defensive ends in the league, he's probably one of the best right tackles in the league right now, as far as against the pass. So you could take that for what it's worth. At least PFF was sitting there saying that's where he was. So it's kind of a give and take thing, man. Hey, look, you can do a good job against the pass rush, what he has been, but you got to make sure. You got to make sure, keep those hands inside, okay? And make sure you're listening to the snap count. You can't be too fast. That's one of those, like, you can't let that happen. That's lack of focus. Lack of focus.
But
So,
JD, based on your assessment, I know because everyone goes to you when it comes to blocking. Obviously, we go to you for a lot of things, but especially with blocking and play, I know everyone wants to talk about the penalties, which they are a problem. And we're talking about accounting for 25% of the team's penalties on the year. One guy doing that, that's an issue. But as far as play-wise, I know you mentioned the PFF numbers. What do you see for the people who do want to knock on Jawaan Taylor? What do you see from your eye test that he does well from at the right tackle spot? You're like, no, he's a good right tackle. You just need to clean this stuff up.
Yeah, but because when he commits the penalties, oh, here it is again, right? He's the same culprit, right? Somebody's like, I guarantee it's Jawaan Taylor or somebody else, right? But it's more important they say it's Jawaan Taylor. And it's a shame that it is him most of the time. You said 25% of the penalties, that shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. That's lack of focus, man. He's got to get better. Pure and simple. Pure and simple. So the reality is it's the same off productions. It don't matter who it is. Jawaan Taylor, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Sky Moore, Cook, Bolden, whoever it has to be. If your game ain't that tight, you got to get better. If not, then there's a replacement. If not, they start looking further down the line in the future. So somebody said he's got pretty good feet. He lined up with the running back. It's funny, Rick. It's fun. Let me see what Daryl said, because I understand Daryl agrees. So what did Daryl, what'd you say up here? Taylor's not going anywhere, nor should he. They get it cleaned up. Left tackle is an experience issue, in my opinion. Maybe the Chiefs make a trade. It should be OT. I agree Taylor's not going anywhere, nor should he. I agree. They'll get it cleaned up. I agree. Left tackle is an experience issue, in my opinion. Definitely. I think Jawaan Taylor has shown part of that he's been able to do what he's able to do. We kind of knew it going into it. Maybe the Chiefs make a trade. It should be for OT. I think Jawaan Taylor has shown that he's doing a good job right now. That's not as much of a issue for us at this moment, Daryl. And I agree with you at the very beginning of the season. And the simple fact because Jawaan was hurt and was thinking about it. But it's interesting what you say. It is interesting what you say. I'm not, you know what? It's not a bad thought for the simple fact of like depth. When you're going to bring a guy in that's going to start is the question. Like you got to bring a guy. Look, and I'm going to tell you something. Let me be honest with you. And this is what I'm talking about, Daryl. There's a lot of bad tackle play out there this season. I've seen a whole lot of it. So it ain't just us.
I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why offensive numbers have declined across the league. Everyone wants to say cover 2. No, I think it's the offensive line's declined.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when you do, but I think they're both like, you know, there's a correlation. Cover 2, you got to make sure, okay, deep ball, right? But these suckers are making sure, man, just give me 3.5 seconds to get back there. Yeah. And that's the timing in the head. Or if you're sitting back further than everybody else, that's another thing I got to look at. So all these guys, man, they're measuring every possible thing where there's a weakness. And so with us, I'll say this. Part of our weakness on the left tackle with Jawaan, what I see, is his feet gets a little lazy, that sometimes inside moves on him are a little harder. They got around him when Chase Young got the one tackle, the one sack. I don't know if was this after he had gotten hurt. That's one thing I wanted for sure. I had to go back to that. But he got lazy with his leg on the kick step. He didn't get back all the way. His hands was too late. And Chase just swatted him away and got around him. That was probably one of his worst reps I've seen Jawaan since he's been out there. So, but yeah, it's been some bad tackle play all around the league. And Marcus, like you said, you see it. There's been some bad tackle, man. So,
yeah, I mean, when defenses are getting back there with rushing 3 or 4 consistently, that's a problem. That's a problem all around the league. And so I'm seeing, you know, Tony Yahoo winning and complaining. What a problem to have. You know, like our offensive line, yes, we got to clean up these penalties that Jawaan Taylor has, but our offensive line play, as much as people want to dog it and say, well, tackles are an issue, it's not. Go watch a Browns game and go tell me how offensive tackle plays in that, because it's rough.
Yeah. Tony Yao said, winning and complaining, what a problem to have. No question, Tony. No question about it. No question. So, we're complaining a little bit from our little plush seats. You know, we sitting over here and, you know, and could have the luxury to say those things, and we sitting over here 5-0. Okay. And we're such a good team because we know how to win. We know how to put these things together to get that W. And that's a very important part to understand how this thing's going to look later on down the season. And so I trust these guys. These guys, they do a good job of having each other's backs. And so if we have to, same thing, give help on chips, which I have seen us do on Jawaan. I've seen it on the right tackle too. We'll be fine. We'll scheme it up that way. That's fine. We ain't got no problem with that whatsoever. Chase Young got the tackle because we had the free release on it. One, he got the sack. But
there was one play, I forgot what it was, but Hunt was on the left side of Mahomes. He comes back across, and the guy was coming on the right side where Jawaan was, and he gave a hell of a block, man. It gave Pat extra time. I think that was a play where I think that might have been the play where he threw to Jody Fortson. I know it was like a 5-yard play, but like just the effort there and seeing Hunt on the left side of Mahomes, seeing on the right side come back and give a nice block to help out Jawaan Taylor was so beautiful.
Scan, man. You got to scan and shoot. That's what running backs are good running backs. They know how to block, know how to scan the right way and go from right side to the left. That's hard. That is a hard thing to do, man. And not disrupt Patrick, not be in his way.
Yeah.
Tough.
Kareem's special, man. He is special.
Yeah.
And so speaking of Kareem, that's where I wanted to go next. It's been a talk of the town since Monday, JD. So this past week we saw 2 blast of the pass performances. Kareem Hunt JuJu. Kareem Hunt had the most rush yards he's had in a game since 2020, and most receiving yards for JuJu since 2021. And what I thought was hilarious, JuJu almost surpassed what he had as a Patriot last year. He had 260 yards. JuJu had 130 yards alone in this game, so he's already almost there to what he had his full year in New England, which is funny. And then this was the most interesting stat. So after our conversation Monday night, I went back and looked because Pacheco never eclipsed 27 carries in the game. His most is 24. So I was like, okay, if Pacheco didn't do it, who the heck has done it since Kareem Hunt left? So I go back, and the Kareem Hunt's 27 carries were the most carries by a Chiefs running back since December of 2017 when Kareem Hunt had 29 carries. So literally Kareem Hunt, I mean, the guy leaves for 7 years, comes back, and he's the most fed ball carrier that we've had since he left, which is just wild to me. But JD, who has impressed you the most? Because everyone's talking about like these blow performances by JuJu and Kareem Hunt. Is it sustainable? Do you think these two can kind of sustain this level of play?
Who impressed me most? I'll start with the first question first. Most impressive was Kareem Hunt by a long shot. Number one, for the simple fact that without any type of training camp coming in, he was in shape and he's able to get that many carries in the second game that he's played for us. Very impressive. JuJu, I always knew he had it. No, I wasn't really shocked with JuJu doing what he did. I knew he was, like I said, it was only 2022 when he caught 78 balls, almost 80 balls, Marcus, and 1,000 yards for us. 2022. Everybody, JuJu ain't the same. It ain't been 10 years. What are y'all talking about? Sucker just took a cup of coffee up there in New England, came back. He got him some clam chowder, came back, they got some barbecue. That's what it was, okay? So everybody had to relax on JuJu, man. I know he always had that in it. But Kareem Hunt, it's great to see because sometimes you don't know as running backs how they're going to be, what type of tolls taken on their body. I had to go to my nephew. My nephew actually said something out here. Let me address him. Nephew, it's always good to see you. As a running back, going to you, word, Taylor has till the end of the season to clean up his mistakes or look for a better player. This is the NFL. People would love to take his position. Word. Absolutely. That's how it is. Performance-based business, Nep. I love you. I will see you tomorrow. But absolutely, you understand that. So got to the end of the season, man. That's how it works. Okay. And after that, can we see you? Can we talk to you? And when you hear that, things happen. But so Andre, going back to JuJu and Kareem, JuJu is a baller. I'm glad we got him here. When we signed him, I'm like, thank God we got JuJu here. He's just in case something happened. He was a perfect guy for us. Kareem Hunt came in lean. We were talking about it. He was eating, some of the kibosh and the cabbage up there in Cleveland. Whatever it is that they eat up there, man, and trying everything off the buffet for a little bit. But now he slimmed down, came back. He's ready. He's ready to go. It's probably in the cold tub. I see somebody say that. My thing is Kareem Hunt, man, that joker. Can he sustain that? Can he sustain it? He says he can. I believe it. I would say maybe not 27 carries next time. I like 20 and give the other guys the carries. Carson Steele, let them come in and do what he do. But I know forming an offense, we needed to let that happen, give him the football. But Kareem, man, has been an absolute joy to watch. He really has, man. He really has. And look, we watched him behind Nick Chubb all those years, and it was effective. And sometimes you was like, he was so good to get behind Nick Chubb. You were like, how come nobody else assigned him as the number one back? How come? I've always wondered that. And there was times, Marcus, we were talking about the time he might have a chance to get back here. He was like, shoot, let's take him. Yep. Everybody's like, oh, everybody do that, man. They done with
yeah, Clark would never.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, build bridges. He didn't burn any. So you build those bridges back up. I'm glad they did it. And we decided to reconcile that relationship. And it's going to work out for both of us. Work out for the team, the Chiefs, and Kareem Hunt. So
what does it tell you, JD? Obviously, like, it's been 7 years, right? And regardless of how much tread there is, I mean, like, you know, it's been 7 years, right, JD? And the fact that we go from 2017 was the highest carry total we've had from a running back with 29. Mm-hmm. And 7 years later, his second week, like you mentioned, no training camp, no nothing, pretty much off the couch. And right away, we're jumping in to giving him 15 carries. And then right the following week, we're giving him 27 carries. And it's the most we've had. What does it say about him? But what does it say about the trust that Andy Reid and the staff have in him to just go out and, hey, 27 carries. That's ain't no thing. We'll give you 27 carries. Because they didn't give Pacheco 27 carries. And that to me is like, when I saw he never had more than 24, I'm like, wait, no way. The guy's second week here, we're giving him 27 carries, more than Pacheco has ever gotten. It's crazy.
I mean, we knew what we had when we got him, when we drafted him. We knew he was a bell cow. So that's the reason we drafted him. And then, of course, like I said, kind of, getting a little taste of what he was able to do up there in Cleveland. So I guess you just kind of make an assessment like, does this guy still have it? This is only his 8th year in the league, Marcus. It's only his 8th year. Him and JuJu came in at the same year. They both came in the same year. And so we understand that the shelf life for wide receivers is better than it is for running backs. And then, running back doesn't have a lot of things on his legs. He only had the abdominal strain that, he had to deal with when he was up there. Other than that, man, that joker's a hoss. Hey, he runs, man. He's a little muscle. He runs through there, okay? And he's hard to bring down. So I think Andy and those guys trust it. If he said he can do it, hey, man, we're going to give it to you. And I know when I'm sitting on the sideline and coaches are asking running backs how you feel, they're like, man, I'm good. If you give me a thumbs up, give it to them. Running back will let you know real quick. Hey, tap on the head. That's right. Now, if you're still watching it, tell them tap in the helmet. Hey, I need one. So if he says he got it in him, when he's talking about let me eat, I'm like, oh man, shoot, this sucker's he's ready. He is ready. So
and I don't know if you saw the conversation he had with P. Ryan the week before on the against the Chargers.
I did.
On the sideline, they tapped him out after he did the whole eat. They took him out and they gave P. Ryan the rushing touchdown. He was talking to P. Ryan on the sideline.
Yeah. He's like, he's gonna get it.
I wanted that.
Yeah. Well, they should have. But he was like, he's happy. He's like, look, you know what, though? I'm happy. So, yeah, that was like, word. That's it, man. Tap at the helmet, to come out. He was ready to go. I thought there was going to be his moment, and it should have been. But that's okay. I'm glad he's comfortable enough to be like, you know what? I'm happy. We got it. P-Ron got it, though, too. So that's one thing the Chiefs have here. I think it's part of the culture is not having selfish players. Okay. And everybody's got to play their role. Everybody's got to be part of this whole machine working together to get better. Right. And so if there's some part of the moving parts are not doing as well, everybody picks up the slack. And so our offense, part of the moving part wasn't doing as well, the defense picks up the slack. And so we started seeing it. Same thing. 2 great receivers go down. We don't have them coming in. Guess what? The rest of the guys pick up the slack. And so this is what it's supposed to be. This is how a family does. This is how championship teams do. and this is who their MO is. So I said this before. If guys are not happy, they will jump ship. They're not winning championships. They will jump ship. And so I'm glad JuJu jumped back on this ship because this is where you want a championship. You want a chip here, he's going to get another one this year. So, Andre, next man up. Yes, it is. Exactly how it works.
Yep.
Exactly how it works. So,
appreciate you, Cody Runge. We got a new sub.
Cody Runge.
Great content, you guys. Chiefs Kingdom, let's LFG. Coming out of the bye, we have a tough stretch of games. What needs to happen to make at least 10-0? JD, that you were amongst those guys who had a run at the perfect season that 1 year until you guys met the Bengals. But I mean, it's no easy feat, right? We're talking about going three-peat, but it's no easy feat to go undefeated in a season.
I could care less if we go undefeated. All that matters is that Super Bowl. That's it. So it's just one game, week after week. That's how you do it. This game, trying to get the one win. That's the way it works. So I see. Shoot, all of them beatable. Every single one of them. We could beat Las Vegas. We know that. They ain't got Devontae. We could beat them. Denver, same thing. They ain't doing nothing more than what we just seen. We just seen some really good teams. We see the Ravens, Cincinnati. Even though Cincinnati don't look like they should, they still getting hit in the mouth. But a good team. New Orleans, very good team. Atlanta, very good team. Yeah. All those guys can match up with the guys that we're playing next. This little stretch. San Fran's going to be a little bit, one of the ones we had to get after.
Well, luckily for us though, because he got the schedule wrong there. We play San Fran. It's the first game we play when we come back from the bye. So we get the bye week 2, prepare for San Fran, who's also not looking like the juggernaut they looked like last year. I will say that. I mean, they're dealing with a lot of injuries, but again, that is what it is. It's not the same team from last year. Then you go San Fran, you got the Raiders. So we go at San Fran, at Las Vegas. Then we come back home to face Baker and the boys down in Tampa.
Marcus, we're not scared of anyone. We're not backing up from anybody. There's nobody on that schedule that we fear or we think is going to be a hard game. None of us. We ain't worried about it. And especially the Bucks. How about that, Stu? Huh? How about that one, Stu? Okay? They got to come up here. We're going to welcome them up here. We got something from old little Baker Mayfield. All right? Talking about the house. We got something for him.
He's looking pretty good so far this year.
Okay.
They're saying him and Darnold are battling it out for MVP of the season right now, JD. Them two and Lamar.
Is that you writing stuff in?
No, that right. I think right now Baker and Darnold are top 5 with Lamar for MVP odds right now.
Man, that's 2 names you would never think about. Don't worry, it's all that's gonna switch. That's all gonna change.
Yeah, it is pumpkin watch, as they say. I think Darnold will turn. Darnold and the Vikings will turn into pumpkins before. I think Baker and the Bucks are actually legit this year. I'm not saying Baker's MVP, but I think the Bucks are legit this year. I'm not really buying the Vikings. I'm not buying it. I know they look great so far this year. Brian Flores is cooking up great defense over there for them. But I will say, I don't know. Maybe it's the whole Darnold effect. I can't buy Sammy D.
Hey, man, look, Sam Darnold, first-round pick, is like Baker, man, for a reason, right? He's a guy's former first-round picks. Yeah. We knew Sam Darnold was supposed to be that guy. He's always been able to throw the football. That's one thing he could do. And so now he's got real legit weapons around him to throw the football. So, for him, it's always about the system as well. He got some maturity in him now. He's taken some of that rust of the USC and Hollywood and rubbed off of him. He done been into the trenches a little bit, Marcus. He's been rolled around a few times, straightened him up some. So
that's true.
I think he enjoys that. Now Baker, hey, you still need to see. I still need to see from that Joker.
Wow. So, okay, so if you were starting a franchise tomorrow, you'd rather start a franchise with Sam Darnold over Baker Mayfield?
How do you going to ask that question? Yeah, I would.
Really? Well, that's surprising.
Yeah, I would.
Oh man, interesting.
I was just impressed with Sam Darnold throwing the football. He's always been that way coming out of USC. I always thought he was a good quarterback. You know?
Wait, you didn't think Baker was good at Oklahoma? That guy was breaking records.
Man.
Uh, but
Everybody's going to Oklahoma.
that's true. They do make every quarterback look like they're the next the next Joe Namath. So JD, so obviously we're talking about beyond the bye. We're talking about the schedule here after the bye week, but bye week's a week too. Obviously relax and settle down a little bit, let the guys get some rest in. But also too, you're looking beyond, looking to fix things that maybe the first 5 weeks may not have gone your way. What are things that you would like to see going forward as we move on the rest of the season? We're 5-0 right now, but obviously there's things we can improve on. What adjustments and improvements would be the top things that you'd want the team to kind of improve on as we move forward throughout the season?
Let's talk about it. Red zone play calling. We need to improve on that. Red zone play calling. We need to improve on the penalties. I think and we need to improve on special teams, return game. Those are things we need to improve on. Other than that, I think coaches getting the guys in play in the position, knowing who that you have, that should be good. That should be something the coaches should work on because of what you're dealing with now, and that is because you don't have Hollywood Brown, you have Rashid Rice. So now the offense is going to look different, okay? And they need to work on that during this bye week on changing flip some of the script up on what we was going to run. You start seeing the offense look a little bit different. So that's what I believe.
Yeah, red zone. Anything? I know the defense has been stellar. Anything from the defense that you'd want to see? They've been great, so I can't really think of much negative to say at all.
Well, no, I would say more sacks from the defensive ends, a little bit more pressure and stuff like that. That's what we need to do. I think I heard, Barbershop and Kevin Locke, they were talking. They were saying that this game was the first time they never gave up a touchdown after the first drive. And so a lot of it is the adjustment that Spags does. So I'm not really worried about that as much, but just more consistency from our DBs as well. I think Jalen Watson has kind of made it known he's going to be the guy. Okay, and everybody else is coming in after that. So I think that's it, man. And as long as we stay healthy, guys staying healthy, that's what we're looking for. That's very important. We start getting into it. But that's pretty much it, man. We got to work on our red zone offense. Got to do much better job. So
yep, I feel like and everyone in the chat agreed. Everyone was saying red zone, red zone, red zone, red zone. And I feel like every week we do get to the bye week, we always talk about hopefully we improve on the red zone as we get through the season. But that's the as much as how great we have been, that's the one thing that we can't seem to figure out is the red zone play calling, and I don't know the red zone execution. So hopefully, it's less Butker and more Butker, but for 1 point, not 3 points.
Yeah, look, I always said we need to be somewhere around 70% of our when we get to the red zone need to be touchdowns. And that's when you're talking about the great teams, that's where they are usually. They're usually around there. And so it's very important that's our focus. So it's what we're trying to do. Okay. And so we understand that everything is condensed down there, changes a little bit, but we got to do a much better job. And it don't have to be the most creative thing. Sometimes it's just, man, hey, lining up, man, hitting guys in the mouth. Let's keep it as vanilla as possible. We're running right here. You stop us. That's what it needs to be. Hey, come up here. We're running right here. Stop us. And sometimes that's where guys need to bow our backs up. So good to see Optimistic James on here. Daryl E. Stu said we all need them to do good after everything that happened down here. Yes, Stu, my brother, listen. Hey, hope you're doing well. You all, Stuart Saltzman, my friend is down there in Clearwater, Tampa. Stu, we put a prayer in for you guys down there to hope everything's doing well. Hope you're staying safe. It's good that you're texting and saying that, man. So I hope everybody's doing fine and they're staying out of harm's way. So, somebody talking about Justin Houston coming back. I don't.
I think
who's coming back. What are they talking about?
Well, they were just talking about, everyone coming back, Kareem Hunt coming back, JuJu coming back, just kind of like all the old guys coming back for this 3-peat run, and Justin Houston being a name it has been thrown around as far as edge rush depth, but I don't think that's happening because Charles Menahue has apparently been hinting that he might be coming back for the San Francisco game, and he will be coming back soon. So I don't think Justin Houston's really going to move the needle at all. I mean, while it would be great, I'd love to have another familiar face. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't really think it's necessary.
Yeah, I think we're good. We can pick him up anytime, man, because he's on the street. So we only know Justin Houston, still running the play. Everybody's saying that. You might as well say JD. You might as well get me to come. Let me see what I got.
That's another familiar face. Bring you back. Go 5 tight ends. Go 4 receivers. Ooh.
No, sir. No. Now we get down, Marcus. We get down there in the red zone. 2 yard on in. I'll score with my man. I promise you that. That's about as good as I can do.
Our red zone percentage will definitely go up if you were still playing. If you came back, red zone percentage post bye week, that's going up if JD's back.
Absolutely. So,
all right, everybody. Well, we hope everybody enjoyed the show. I know it was a little long for a Wednesday night, but we didn't have a Monday show, and you guys won't see us till Monday of next week, because bye week means we don't have the betting show, and there's no post game show this week, and so you won't see us till Monday, barring any breaking news that happens over the next few days. But we hope everyone enjoyed our episode tonight, our packed episode with the grades and some of the topics that you guys have been asking for. And, of course, love chatting with you all tonight. JD, want to close this out here, brother?
Yeah. So, real quick, Chiefs fan from Southern Cal said, can we utilize Kelsey with his height advantage in the end zone? Kelsey is not hopping up there to get any footballs. We got other guys that could do that. That's something that we don't do a lot of. Chiefs fans, Southern Cal, but with Jody here, hopefully we do a little bit with him. Jared Wiley is another one that we could do down there in the red zone as well. We'll look for this. If there's going to be any movement this bye week, you all, could be. Seeing some new faces on the team is a possibility. We won't quite know that. We'll just have to, wait and see. But for everybody who came in tonight, good to see you. Thank you so much for the engagement, having a conversation with us, man. We absolutely enjoyed it. We were thrilled. I know I'm sitting over here running my mouth for a long time. My wife just sit there and said, you're almost 2 hours in, and I'm going to blame it on you, Marcus. I'm blaming it on you, okay? So, sweetie, it's Marcus's fault.
Hey, we don't have a Friday show, no Sunday show this week. She should be happy.
Yeah. She'll be happy. So we're gonna be good. But we may see some things up there. We may seeing like little videos here and there. All right. But Chad said JD might score in 10 yards in, but would be tired at the next 3 games. He'd be tired the next 3 games.
Give me the ice bath.
Yeah. Put me on IR after the first game. Put me on IR. So listen, everybody, like I said, it was good seeing you all. Y'all take care. Y'all be safe. Y'all down in that area of Florida. Stu, man, we're praying for you, brother, and all the other people down there, Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, all of Florida, North Carolina, everybody. We just wish everybody a speedy recovery. Everybody comes back fine, healthy, and we ask for just protection over each and every one of you all. But thank you all for coming out. Andre Chenal, Mike Brennan, Richie Hall, Jeremiah De Muertos, Kathy Welch, Chiefs fan from Southern Cal, Charles Driver, Stu, good seeing you, man. Talk to you. DB, good seeing you. I haven't seen you forever.
DB?
Snake. Yeah.
DB, that you guys go way back on Twitter.
Well, way back, man. Way back. We used to go at it. DB know who it is. You know what it is. Good seeing you too. What up, DB? Lacey Snake, YB Negative. Let me see. Rick Henderson. Always good talking to you, my man. Tony Yahoo or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce it. I hope I said it the right way. Melly Matrix, always good seeing you. Optimistic James, good seeing you, my man. Andrea Chanel, thank you. Always good seeing you and talking to you as well. Let me see who else we miss talking. Daryl E, good seeing you, man. I'm the brand. If you're still on there, YB Negative, Coney Wrong. Good seeing you, man. New follower. Great seeing you, man. Come check us out. We're gonna have some more good content for you all. Mike Brandon, always my brother, always. Neff, love you. Let me see who else. Hey man, y'all know what it is. If I get to say hi to you all, thank you so much for coming out. I'm trying to think who else. I'm the Brown. I think he was in here as well. Other than that, Crispy on here. Susie S. About time. Good to see you, about time. Hope your wife is doing well. Everybody in your family is doing good. So other than that, y'all, listen, y'all take care. We love you all. Thank you so much. We watch the Royals. See what the Royals are doing. Giving the Royals in. That's what we look, man. See what it is. There it is. KC. Chiefs are coming back. Gonna be back in the building, man. Still going for this 3-peat. So don't lose hope. Don't lose sight. Stay focused. From us, Chiefs Day all day, baby. This is me and Marcus from Chiefs Concerns coming to you all. Y'all take care. God bless. We'll see you and talk to y'all later. Marcus, my brother, love you, man. I'll be talking to you. Okay?
You too, man.
Y'all take care.
Bye, everybody. Good night. We'll see you guys Monday night. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.